Now, what's so special about this month? All right. Now, firstly, the yin wood. Now, yin wood, to a lot of practitioners, they might not know this, but yin wood could be seen as the animal sign of the rabbit. Okay, because inside the rabbit is the energy of the yin wood. Okay, now, those of you who are a bit more familiar with the relationships in Bazi studies, rooster and rabbit forms a clash. Okay, now this clash is what we call a betrayal clash. Now, the rooster is like a penknife and the rabbit is like one of those small little twigs or one small grass or flowers, right? So physical damage is not that great. But this cut is very painful because it's an emotional cut. Okay, so this year, a lot of people will go through a lot of what we call emotional roller coaster rides. Okay, now, so this month, across the world, you're going to see many events. Even you yourself, you might have feelings of betrayal, anger, and a lot of emotional turmoil, right? Regardless, whatever's happening in your work, in society, you might feel there's a lot of unfairness going around. And if we go a bit deeper, if we look at the 210 gods available, on the top, we have eating god EG, and at the bottom, we have indirect resource IR. Now, those of you who are a bit more familiar with Bazi would know that EG and IR, basically, they are countering each other, okay, in the study of the 10 gods. Now, what does this mean? Now, in layman terms, IR, indirect resource, means there is a new current situation arising. Okay. And the reason for that is because whatever current plans, policies, how things are done right now globally, people do not like it. So there's a lot of what we call a lot of situations, a lot of reactions going against the incumbent authority. Okay. How many of you guys are already seeing this? Okay, in your country, in countries around you, in your neighborhood countries, a lot, right? Correct, guys? Okay, type a yes if you guys are already seeing this. Yeah, a lot going on. But let me give you the reality. This is only the start. Okay, because in the month of September, in 2 to 3 days' time, the real energy starts to pick up. Now, when we look at the entire Bazi chart of the year, together with the month of September, we are going to get more details, all right? So sit tight, okay, and get ready. Because let's start with the year. That means the overall sentiment, the overall workings, okay, of the global environment. Now, we are in the year of the snake, and the month of September is the month of the rooster. Now, rooster and snake, without being too technical, forms the three harmony combination, which produces the indirect resource. Okay, it also forms a hidden combination producing the water element, which is friend and rock wealth. Okay, and more importantly, fire is combined away into water, which produces even more friend and rock wealth. Now, this is called the technical analysis. Now, what does it mean in layman terms? Okay, now, as I said, indirect resource means there's a new situation arising. Okay, a new situation arising. Now, the hidden combination produces the water element. Now, water is friend and rock wealth. Now, a lot of you might not know this, but friend means masses, big groups of people. Rock wealth has an element of violence. Okay, has an element of violence. So that's the reason why in the month of September, don't be surprised. And I need you guys to take extra precautions and play it safe, okay, when there's rallies, protests going around, because there's this elevated energy of violence. So I need you guys to be safe over here, okay? And guys, this year we all know, okay, and since the beginning of the year, we know that the wealth element of the year is a little weak, all right? It's a little weak, all right? Now, the wealth element of the year is represented by the fire in the snake, which is circled in the green circle over there. Okay. Now, when the rooster comes in, the fire element gets combined away, meaning the fire, the wealth element disappears to become water. What does this mean? Water means the masses, everybody rushing for whatever little wealth is available out there. So do you guys get my drift now? Do you know what to expect in September? There's going to be high competition, low resources, lesser jobs, lower liquidity, very low sales. Okay, this is like just me being very direct with you guys. Okay, now in the month, the rooster triggers the ungrateful punishment for the year, which means a lot of people are going to feel very angry. They're going to feel very betrayed. There's going to be a lot of resentment. Okay. And in the day, there's going to be the rooster and rabbit clash, like I mentioned, right? Which is exactly what the month pillar is, the rooster clashing with the rabbit. So as I said, rooster and rabbit clash is an emotional clash. So this month in September, do not expect people to be rational. Okay. And I'm giving you guys this information not to tell you to prepare for the emotional struggle, but I need you guys not to make decisions when you're in an emotional state. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you guys. Okay. Because you guys might end up regretting it. Right. And finally, in the hour pillar, the rooster and the pig will trigger the annual 3 harmony combination, eating God, which will also trigger the hurting officer, which will also trigger the inborn clash. Now, what does this mean? Okay, let me speak human language to you guys now. Number one, a new situation is triggered. Okay, there will be organized mass rallies and protests. Okay, on a national level, maybe against companies, because people are just basically hungry. Okay, and opportunities are taken away, and lesser wealth is available out there. Okay, and finally, this is due to loss of jobs, scarcity of resources, opportunities, runaway inflation, or what we call rising cost of living. Okay, very poor cash flow. If you're doing business, expect weak sales. Okay, and finally, very high competition. That means everybody is rushing for resources or that last dollar. Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, this is not okay. I'm not fear mongering, but I need to warn you guys because I need you guys to pay attention to your cash flow, and it might do you some good to start reducing your expenditure if you have any plans. All right. Now, there's also this energy of going against the current norm. Okay, there's this energy of there's a lot of resentment going against the incumbent authority. Okay, because everybody is angry, driven by feelings of betrayal, unfairness, and some part of them are seeking some form of revenge. Okay, there's a lot of thoughts about systemic revamp. That means people do not like how things are being run, how the economy is being run, how the companies are being run, how the societal system is being run. So they are pushing for some revamp. Okay, and there's a compulsion to go against the current authority because of lack of opportunities, resources available to the general public. How many of you guys are already feeling this in the last 2 weeks? Type a me. Okay. Right. Correct, right? Okay, that's because you are starting to feel the energies of September before it fully comes in. Now, why am I giving you guys all this information? Because there's a reason for this. Because before I answer questions, a lot of you guys will understand where a lot of these questions will come from. Now, again, I did not see any of the questions. Let's just see how many of these questions or problems that people are facing are due to the current situation. Yeah. Okay, good. Now, those of you who have attended like the Bazi mastery and understood the 12 growth cycles, this month is the month of the sickness growth cycle. What does this mean? It means that the karmic lesson is this: if you do not like your current position, you need to start planting seeds that leads to a different direction. If you keep doing the same thing and you hope for a different outcome, you are crazy. Okay, but all is not lost because there is time for you to turn around, and the turning around time is this month in September. Okay, guys? Now, people who are affected in the month of September would have these 7 animal signs inside their Bazi chart, including their 10-year luck cycle. Okay, but if you have these 3 in particular, the impact is going to be much stronger. Remember, guys, if your life is very painful right now, most likely the pain is force pivoting you onto a different trajectory to start planting seeds that leads to a different outcome. It's time to let go because whatever that used to work is no longer working. Okay, especially if you have the rooster, snake, and ox anywhere in your Bazi chart, including your 10-year luck cycle. Okay, guys. Now, so I have, by giving you this information, I have set the stage for what's our environment right now. Okay, what's our environment right now? Okay, so let's see. Okay, hopefully that Ari is ready with the questions. I have not seen any of them, so let Ari do the picking, right? So fire away. Okay, what are my strengths and how can I utilize for the business? Attract loyal clients, personal branding. Okay, from Alex. Okay, he wants to know his strengths. Okay, so right. Okay, so if you want to know your strengths, right? If you want to know your strengths, just look at your month pillar and look at the main chi. His main chi inside the dragon is the eating god. All right. On the top is eating god, at the bottom is eating god. So what is eating god? Eating god is called the power of innovation. So don't do the same old, same old. Whatever the whole market is doing, do something differently. And that is going to be your unique selling proposition. Okay, Alex? Okay, straightforward. Okay, innovate. Do not be, even if it's a better mousetrap, just do it. Okay, right. Next question.
Okay. I tried to log in and out. I'm not sure if they can they can hear me now. Okay, but let's move on to the next question. Hang on. Here you go.
Okay, Elsa. Okay, Elsa, I am currently an energy worker, therapist, Reiki teacher. All right. My income is not stable, and I am now expanding my network of students by traveling to other cities. As I'm the breadwinner of my family and supporting my sick mother and brother, and I'm wondering whether I should go back to work for a company or if I should continue helping others with their emotional and mental healing. Okay, I've also started to add simple Bazi and I Ching readings. Okay, sure. So let's take a look at the chart.
All right. They can hear me now, finally.
Okay, great. Okay, let's take a look. Good. Okay, can we go down to the 10 profiles, please?
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, so basically, Elsa, what you're missing is the overall strategy in terms of how you make your money. You serving multiple clients, offering multiple service is correct based on your Bazi chart because you have multiple 3 harmony combinations. The problem is this: you do not have a monetization plan, a concrete one. All right, because your indirect wealth is 0. Okay, right at the bottom. That means you don't really have the long planning. So what you should do is, whether it's a full-time job or whether it's multiple side gigs, the numbers have to make sense. So if your plan of getting a full-time job and doing something on the side would create a more stable cash flow for you, then do that. All right. This is because of the lacking of your indirect wealth. So you need a longer term planning. Whatever that you're doing right now is very short term. Okay, Elsa? All right. So next question, please.
Okay. Sorry. Let me just read out. From Rachel. So Rachel is asking, at this time of her life, I'm looking for the best relationship with a partner of life. Should I give up? So she's born in the year of 1957, okay? Go ahead.
Okay, so define best. All of us say we want the best job, we want the best partner, we want the best, we want the best that. What is best, guys? So you see, your questioning has to be a bit more specific to your benefit. Okay, are you looking for someone with a bit more a spiritual connection, or are you looking for someone with a bit more financial power so that you have to worry less financially? Okay, so or you should give up. Okay, so can we go down to the bottom again? 10 profiles. Okay, direct wealth. Okay, all right. Direct indirect resource. Okay. Okay, so based on your chart, Rachel, your direct wealth is at close to 100%, which means you need a very high sense of stability and security in your life. So your definition of best partner is a partner who can give you that level of stability in life. Okay, so if you have to find a partner, make sure this partner, in terms of more tangible financial support, would be a better partner to give you a longer lasting sense of security. Okay, if your social circle or the people that come that you get to meet, right, are not in that category, then don't waste your time, because eventually you're going to feel very insecure with them. Okay. Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
next
let's move
question.
on to the next question from Andrea. I want to organize wellness retreats where people can spend time feeling relaxed and pampered. I don't know how to start off, even if I'll be good at it. So I would like to find a partner that shares the same interest with me, and I would like to know when the opportunity appears.
Okay, let's take a look. All right. Well, okay. You do not know how to approach it is because you do not know the step-by-step process. So the easiest way for you to start anything is to go into a collaboration. That means at least two more parties, two more partners and above for you to work together. That means, it's just like Dato Joey. He does his art, but the entire company organizes everything else for him. You see this? So you are the artist, you need to perform your art. The rest of your partners organizes the operations and running the business. So you need to find two more partners, all right, for you to get started. Okay. You can get started this year as well. Okay, you can get started this year as well. Pay attention to December this month to see who you meet. You might want to start discussions. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, Andrea is here. Okay, that's great.
Cool.
You like your answer, Andrea? Listening. Okay, we are done.
Listening,
We are
right?
done talking.
Cool. Cool. Two more partners. Two more partners. All right. Don't try to figure everything out on your own. That's my advice for you. Okay. All
Cool.
right.
Let's
Cool.
move on with Paul. So I'm wondering wealth generation opportunities for me. I want to know different options, whether it's sole entrepreneurship, partnership, or work for someone as a mentor and climb the corporate ladder. Okay, and
Okay.
this is Paul's chart.
This is Paul's chart. Paul, in your month pillar, you can see that you're sitting on indirect wealth. Okay, you're sitting on indirect wealth. Now, indirect wealth is an entrepreneur's wealth star. So the obvious choice for you is to pursue entrepreneurship. Okay, but there's a 7 killings on the top of the month pillar, which means it's not just about starting a business, but you are supposed to start a business that serves breakthrough ideas and solutions to the market. Okay, so the way to do it is not in terms of should you start, but what should you offer to the market. The first step is always to look at the top 3 problems of the market that you can solve and try to solve a bigger problem, right? The bigger the problem, the bigger the money. All right, and you can do this alone, okay, but in my advice, do not be a solopreneur. Be at least have a partnership, or at least have 2 more partners with you. The reason is because you have the double dragon in your chart, which means you have the self punishment. That means you can't trust yourself. Okay, if you make a lot of decisions on your own, there's a high chance that you might be making a mistake. So it's better to have partners around you to sort of safeguard and sort of fine tune the way you think. All right, Paul. All right, cool.
Okay, I hope Paul is here listening to us. Paul, if you're here, just type in the chat, yeah? While we move on to the next question from Barbara. I started my own company a month ago. What are the possible pitfalls and issues I might face next year or in the future? What are your advices you would give to me to be successful? And this is
Okay.
Barbara's chart.
Okay. All right. 10 profiles, please. Okay. Thank you. Number one, you tend to overthink. All right. You tend to overthink because you're a thinker structure. So a lot of times you go into this analysis paralysis that leads you nowhere. Okay. Now the thing is this. Okay. You overthink because you are trying to. Number one, first of all, you're afraid of making mistakes. Number two, you're trying to figure stuff out on your own. Now the key here is do not figure stuff out on your own. Do not do everything on your own because your chart is very heavy on nobleman energy. That means whenever you face a roadblock, go and talk to people about it. Whenever you need to get recommended to or get connected to someone, see if someone can recommend you to it. Okay, tap into other people's networks, pick other people's brains. Okay, the less you depend on yourself, the more you leverage on other people, the more your chart opens up, the more your business opens up. Okay, eventually my advice is go into fundraising, leverage on investors to build your business. Do not do everything on your own. Okay.
Right. Next is from Aping, I guess this is how to pronounce.
Okay.
In order to reach my goal in earning $20,000 every month, should I continue on my forestry projects on planting small trees or start on investing stocks or crypto, as I've been learning stocks and crypto for almost 3 years while working on projects at the same time? And this is Aping's chart.
Okay, first and foremost, this is a very common mistake that everybody makes. Okay, trading, investing in crypto is not cash flow. Cash flow means every month you see some money. Because your question was, how do I make $20,000 a month? So you're asking about $20,000 cash flow, okay, which has to come from a salary job or some form of a cash flow generating activity. So crypto and all that trading stuff is out of the question. If you do make some money, it's a cherry on top. Okay, so you still have to look at your forestry projects, right? And you have to just scale up. Okay, you just have to scale up. And the way to do it is in multiple collaborations. Okay, multiple collaborations tapping into other people's tangible resources and intangible connections. That's the way for you to scale up. Okay, all right.
Okay. Next one is from Lao. I recently gave birth to a nice boy, 5 months now, and I'm not fully recovered after the operation. Unfortunately, during I don't know what is Travelue, okay, the doctors had to operate me to take out the child. Also, my thyroid is not so well. I have something on it. I'm concerned about my health. I also think about starting a business on my own, and I don't know if it's okay for me. I work in a company before giving birth to my boy. Okay, and this is the chart.
Okay. So your question is about are you asking about health or are you asking about starting a business on your own? All right. Because guys, if you look at this question, it's very contradicting. It's catch 22. You with bad health, you cannot start a business. But if you start to get busy in your business, your health takes a toll. So what should be the answer? Correct? So can we have the chart, please, Ari? Thanks. Go straight to the last page. Okay. Killings, indirect friends. Okay. So now my advice is this, okay? Because of your health, okay, It looks to me that health wise down the road you have a higher chance of genetic hormonal changes to your body, basically. Okay, with weaker respiratory systems and all that stuff. So obviously we can't push you that hard. So what do you have to do? You need to find people around you. You can start a business, you can even be an investor, but you cannot be the one firefighting. Okay, so you have to find a model whereby you can get, you can have your fingers in multiple cookie jars as an investor. Okay, while the business runs without having to depend on your physical contribution. Okay, that's my advice to you. Okay, so if you want to have one job, you can have one job, but be a small investor in multiple units or multiple businesses. Okay, all right. Okay,
Okay.
next one.
Next one is from Tanya. I don't progress
Okay.
in my work no matter how hard I try. There seems to be a wall that I cannot climb and a ceiling to my limit. I'm in sales, real estate industry for the past 25 years, blessed with a small number of loyal, regular clients over years. And I want to find new ways to increase income. What are my choices based on my budget chart? What are my hidden capabilities that I have never realized? And it's a birthday month. That's why I chose you, Tanya. Right.
All right. Okay,
Okay.
let's take a look.
This is the chart.
Okay. Okay, your chart is quite simple, Tanya. This is actually a very common question that I face almost every day. Your chart is what we term as a weekday master. Some of my students here would know this, right? Weekday master means you can't do things on your own. You can't do things alone, because if you do things alone, you will have this invisible ceiling above your head and you can't seem to break through. That's exactly what you just mentioned in your text, right? So what you have to do is you always have to make your money through partnerships, collaboration, or some form of a referral system or a support system. So if you're in real estate, instead of going after sales on your own, put more efforts in co-broking, new launches in a new launch team, right? You go and build your referral system, join more co-broking chat groups. That's where all your sales are. Okay, do not try to attack sales, generate leads on your own. It's going to be very exhausting. Okay. Yeah.
I see
Cool.
a question on the chat from YouTube, Fato. How about not weak but just average? Does it mean not means not too strong day master?
Okay, so this becomes a bit technical. You're either strong or you're weak. There's no average. Okay, yeah. So this is the if so basically if you find yourself average means, okay. Anyway, we're in period 9. So the default formula is always in cross leveraging in any way that you can. Okay, so co-broking, new launches, referral systems, will be your main answer for the next 20 years. Okay.
All right. Now,
Alrighty.
guys, yeah, that reminds me, right? As Kenneth is doing the reading, if you have any questions regarding the reading currently, I think feel free to type in. I mean, like I said, this session is for us for you guys to learn how to read a budget chart as well, not just for Kenneth to read yours. Okay. Now, we'll move on to the next one.
Okay.
From Ruth, I want to zero in on what career would be fulfilling and provide an income with no cap. What are the top 5 options according to my chart? And here is Ruth's chart.
Ruth, basically what you're asking, right? If I read in between the lines, you're asking about what can you do for fulfillment. Okay, you have a fulfillment problem in your chart. That means whatever that you do in life, you find that there's not much meaning in what you do. The reason is because there's a double DE in your year and your month pillar. Okay, so basically if you look inside the doc, which is your DE, it says IW. Inside the DE of your pick in the month pillar is your IR. So it's better for you to start your own business. Okay, pursue entrepreneurship. Okay, through collaboration, fundraising, investors, or basically work in a team. Work in a team. All right. And the more as you do your business, as long as you grow your business, you offer more solutions that solves problems in the marketplace, the more fulfilled you're going to feel. Okay, so this is not about what are my top 5 options. It's basically why are you feeling unfulfilled? The reason is because you're actually seeking entrepreneurship through collaboration or partnership. Once you do that and you're able to solve certain problems in society, you're going to feel like a brand new person. Okay, so sometimes you don't, guys, listen, when we do parts, right, sometimes we don't just read the question and answer the question. We have to read between the lines. Why is it that people are asking this question? There's always some pain factor that we have to identify. All right, in this chart, double DE is a fulfillment problem. Okay, there's no meaning in life. Okay, so Ruth is just trying to find meaning. So she's trying to do the things that actually matter in her life. All right, guys. All right. So next
Okay.
question.
Hang on, I see a question on the chat as
Okay.
well. And I think Anne is pretty new at this. She's asking,
Okay.
is there any day master that is yin, which is weak?
The weak or strong is dependent on the month of birth. So day masters are either yin or yang. So that's a formula to this. Okay, there's a formula to this. So it depends on your day master and which season that you're born. So this is the technical side, which I don't think we should go into. Right.
Yeah,
So yeah.
true.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, did I hide it already? Okay, let's move on. I think this is the last one that I've selected from the pre-submitted question. I think CS
Okay.
is the last one. Okay, I've been single for over 9 years. Before that, I was in a decade-long relationship where I felt deeply neglected and abandoned. Living that relationship was a matter of survival, as it was literally destroying my health as I was headed towards leukemia at the time. I'm now happy and healthy, and I feel ready to open my heart again. Based on my party chart, will I ever meet a man who is truly aligned with me and experience supportive, lasting love in this lifetime? And this is CS chart.
Okay. 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 Well, first of all, CS, you're born with double peach blossom. One is the horse, one is the rooster. So you don't be afraid of attracting people. So you don't have an attraction problem. Okay. But what I can see is that you might have an issue with managing expectations. Okay. Now understand that when two people come together, right? All of us are different, upbringing, education, perspective in life, values and principles, whatever it may be, right? You're not going to get exactly the same as you. If not, that's a clone. Okay. So you need to understand in terms of relationship, when two people meet, there's always a gap in terms of how people see their lives. Okay. Now, if you're serious about giving each other a chance, what both of you are supposed to do is that both of you are supposed to find common ground in somewhere in that gap. All right. And try to move forward as a couple to see where this takes you. This is called alignment of expectations. That's exactly what you typed into the question, because what you said in the question was, can I find a guy who's aligned with me? Correct? Alignment is not by finding, it's by actions. What parties can do is we can see the affinity to meet a potential guy who is willing to go into that commitment process to find that alignment. I hope I make sense to you. CS. All right. So that is relationship coaching. Okay. Yep. All right.
Okay,
Cool.
now that we have done those of you, those lucky people whom have submitted earlier, I've prepared a few charts that just now you guys type in on the chat. So let me just remove this first. Okay, and I will share my screen right now. Hang on, yeah. Okay. Guo, this is the chart. I'm not sure if you're seeing it. Are you seeing it, Kenneth?
Yes. Yes, I can see it. Yep.
Yes, right? Okay.
Okay.
Hang on. So the question from Guo Xiang is, I would like to know how I can grow my brand awareness and client base, plus what actions can I do to increase my income to sustain living abroad?
Okay, so you're trying to grow your brand awareness and your business. Okay. And you're trying to sustain your expenses living abroad. So I'm assuming that you are running your own business. Okay. And it's might not be doing so well because you're afraid of you're not being able to sustain your business. Okay. So again, now let's see. Okay. Now, I'm assuming that you're doing this on your own, Guo Xiang, because if you are working with other people, you might not have this problem. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times, whatever that you're trying to do sort of backfires or doesn't work for you. Okay, and you have no idea why, and and even with your purest intentions, it's not being appreciated. Okay, so your entire business model, your entire sales process, your entire efforts are not exactly fruitful for you. Okay, the reason is because you have the harm with a side effect of ungrateful punishment, which means internally your thought process is coming out with ideas that might not be fully appreciated by the open market. Okay, so what you should do is that you should always leverage on like brand advisors. That means if you want to grow your brand, talk to branding people and see what are the blind spots that you're missing. Okay, if you're trying to scale up your business, it's a different problem. So how do you increase your lead generation, your conversion rate, and your sales process, including increasing your extension line to sell more products and services, right? So you must always talk to different experts, different professionals to help you in different areas. That's the way to do it. Okay. All right.
Okay. Right. So the next question is from Bebek. I'm having a hardship this year. I got an operation, several health issues. My company shut down, and basically I'm in unemployment now. I tried to apply for jobs, but everybody wants a younger employee. So I guess the question is, how can she get employed, at her age now? Okay, so let me just bring up her chart right now. Hang on, I need to navigate through multiple windows. Yeah, it's not easy. Okay.
Yeah, this is the reason why Ari hasn't done it for 2 years, because it's very tedious to be doing this on the fly, right? All right, so guys, I hope that you guys can appreciate what Ari is trying to do. It's easier for me because I'm just reading the charts. Yeah.
Okay, and this is her chart, his chart.
Okay. Okay. So if you're trying to find a job, my advice is don't try to find a job on your own. Meaning, don't try to directly seek a job. Right. You have a nobleman energy in 2025 this year. Okay, especially in the month of September. Okay, so go out and I need you to go and talk to friends and family. I need you to talk to recruitment agencies or headhunters, depending on which level you are. Okay, and I need you to go on like social media channels like Instagram and Twitter, all right, and clean up your profile because you have this nobleman energy. So a job can come to you via referral or recommendation. Okay, now this might not start you on a job this year, but it starts the interview process. It starts the generating of leads and interviews. Okay, because I can see in your chart next year in 2026, moving towards 2026, a job is coming for you to pursue. Okay, so your opportunities are coming. You just have to tell people out there that you're looking for one, and you can't seek your job directly. But one word of advice: you have a character who has a tendency to go against authority or your boss. Okay, so for the sake of getting a job, even if you don't like your boss, even if you think that your potential interviewer is an idiot, bite the humble pie for now, get your foot in the door, then slowly work on it. All right. That's the way to do it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Next one. Hang on, it's a question from Alan Cheong. So Alan is working and at a crossroad in terms of career and wealth, seeking clarification and direction for both based on all the opportunities in my budget has to offer me. Basically the question is, what can I do to maximize my chances for career growth or change and wealth enhancement? And in worst case scenario, what can be done to minimize damage to goals? Okay, and let me bring up Alan's chart right now.
So this is a 3-in-1 question, right? The first one is about career, second one is about wealth, and third one is about any character traps, basically, that you have to look out for. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
Right.
You're seeing the chart, right, Kenneth?
Yes, I'm seeing the chart, correct. Okay, I'm seeing a chart. All right. Okay, for career growth, okay, Alan, for career growth, you might be a bit frustrated or disappointed because you feel that your current job is like a bit lacking in terms of opportunities or growth. Now, guys, remember I gave you the September forecast. I said that resources are low, everybody's fighting for the last dollar, everybody's fighting for the last job. Okay, so the first thing is when in a reality of scarcity, all right, obviously opportunities will not be readily available. So what is available in Alan's chart is not about his current day job. It's actually his opportunity, okay, to start a side gig. Okay, he has an opportunity to start a side gig via collaboration or someone's recommendation to him. Okay, so by increasing his revenue channels, that means one is his salary, the next one is his side gig, that will increase his progression in terms of wealth accumulation. Okay, right. Can we, and to answer the third part of the question, can we go to the last page, please? Okay, let's see. Okay. The resource. Okay. What can damage your progression or what can damage your wealth opportunities? Your emotions. Okay. So, Alan, I need you to not be overly paranoid and I need you to not be too aggressive verbally. Okay. You have to basically practice a higher level of tact when you communicate with people. Okay. Right. Yeah. So that's the way to do it.
Okay. And the next one is from Tia Maya. For the past few years, it had been really difficult. It was like one step forward, two steps back. I want to know, when can I have a career breakthrough? Okay. And the chart for Tia. Hang on, yeah. Right, here you go.
Okay, career breakthrough. Okay. One step forward, two steps back. Okay. So Tia, your road to success is through collaboration. Now, without being technical, remember one thing. Okay, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So in terms of growth, go for collaboration, partnerships, even interdepartmental working together. Okay. In terms of working environment, it's always you scratch my back, I scratch yours. All right. So this is always about partnerships and collaboration. The thing that you have to be careful of is always operate within the realms of fairness. That means do not be overly generous to the point where you forget to benefit yourself. Then it becomes one step forward, three steps back. Because when people take all the benefits and you forgot to benefit yourself, then the equation doesn't really work. All right. So remember to be fair to yourself. Okay. All right.
Okay, and we'll move on with the next one from Jackie V. Jackie is asking, what's the best industry for me and how to achieve the financial freedom in the next 2 years? Okay. And okay, here you go.
Okay, let me see. What is the best industry? Okay, first of all, when you talk about best industry, we have to be time sensitive. Now it's period 9. Okay, and guys, those of you who can read her chart, right? Can you see that she has 4 earth animal signs? Okay, so there's a very high chance that Jackie finds it a bit hard to move or moves a bit slow in terms of progression. Okay, so now let's focus on the earth. Okay, so in period 9, what is earth? What is the rising industry of earth? Okay, it's called sustainability. Love the world, hug the tree. Okay, right? Don't eat shark's fin, for example. Okay, so you might want to go into the new area of sustainability, circular economy, all that stuff. Okay, sustainability, development, yep, all that kind of stuff. That should give you a much bigger career progression for you to explore for the next 18 years. Okay, yeah.
Okay, and I think that's all I have prepared. I know you guys during the 10-minute session that Kenneth shared the September insights. That was the time that I got to pick up your questions and plot the chart. Okay, so for those of you who have just typed in your question or joined us late, unfortunately, we won't be able to do the reading for you tonight. Okay, so but I hope you guys enjoy this session so far. Do you guys enjoy looking at how the chart has been read so far? Can you type in the chat? Okay, let's take some questions, not your personal questions, yeah. Let's take some questions that you want to understand more about Bazi and not your personal questions. All right. So I have Anna here. I noticed in the previous reading, you mentioned that the chart has 2 peach blossoms. Even though the peach blossom animal wasn't there, did you use the stamps for that?
No, in Bazi, there are 4 peach blossom animal signs. Okay, there are 4 peach blossom animal signs. So if you have more than one, it basically means that you are already attractive to a particular group of people in the world. If you have 2, you attract more than half. You have 3, trouble is about to start. 4, you better stay at home. Okay, because the entire world is coming after you. Okay, good and bad peach blossoms. Okay, so when there are 4 altogether, so I just have to see whether you have any of those 4. It's quite straightforward. Yep.
Right, and let's take some question here. Etsy is asking, how do we see side gig opportunity from Bazi chart?
Okay, so basically, there are 2 kinds of side gigs. Okay, number 1 is open a business side gig. That means you open a small little business. That is the hour. Okay, the other side gig is you being a freelancer, like deliveries and all the food deliveries, parcel deliveries, driving Uber, Grab, stuff like that, right? That will be the day because you are the product, you are the service provider. So there are 2 ways of looking at it. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay. Lick is asking, any replay? Yes, of course, there's a replay. This is Facebook Live. Okay, after the session ends, you will see this on Facebook, the same page that you're in. All right. Okay. Let me see. Let me select some questions that you guys can benefit. Okay, this one. Perlin is asking how to see if a job should self-apply direct or job or through people.
Okay. Normally, if I see that your Bazi chart has a 3 harmony combination, or I see that your Bazi chart has a lot of clashes, destructions, and harms, means you have a lot of blind spots. That means you can't trust yourself. So it's always good to leverage on other people's opinions for clarity. So 2 ways again, right? 3 harmony combination, as well as if you have if your chart is too messy, you can't trust yourself. All right. Yeah.
Okay. MK is asking in Bebek's chart how to see he has nobleman energy in September.
Bebek's chart, if I'm not wrong, okay, because he has very strong IR energy. Another name for IR, indirect resource, is third party help. So that's nobleman as well.
Okay, we'll take a few more questions here. Hang on. Okay. Anna, the luck pillar forms uncivilized punishment with the hour pillar. What does that mean?
That means you work your butt off. Okay, uncivilized punishment means there is this mental, emotional, and physical abuse. Okay, and the hour is talking about your mind. So you're constantly very stressed about certain things that you can't seem to get your head around. Okay, so you're also pushing yourself very hard. So there's this mental abuse as well. Okay, but it's a choice. That means you made this choice yourself. Okay, so you tend to over push yourself mentally quite a bit. Yep.
Okay, and this is from Karen. If hour in DE is side gig pointless.
No, it's not pointless, but there's a strategy to it. DE means it's a void, which means do not try to come up with the idea for your side gig. You might want to see what's working in the market already, and just copy and paste, or design a better mousetrap, basically. So see what's working, just follow. Do not try to come up with something on your own just yet. Okay?
Yeah. I think this is a good question, and Kenneth definitely has experience in this because he recently shared in Bazi Summit, but it's more function summit is more on function. How can we use Bazi to increase chance of conceiving a baby girl?
Okay, number one, we have to make sure that the condition is ready. That means for the husband, especially for the wife's body, make sure it's ready. Basically, make sure it's warm. Okay, make sure it's warm. Okay, and if you really want to, this is using your wife's, okay, the woman's Bazi chart, not the guy. The guy is not important. Okay, the woman's Bazi chart for females. You can do the process in the month of EG, eating god months. Okay, eating god represents the female, hurting officer represents the male. Okay, so one technique I helped my friend conceive a boy was to tell them to be active in the month of hurting officer based on the wife's chart. Right.
Okay. Let's just pick a last question here from Aping since we read his chart earlier. What if my friend and direct resource is more than 90%? Is it good for my forestry projects? Because 2 years ago, my forest area got burned down by fire.
Friend and direct resource talks about your tendencies and your talents. It has nothing to do with your luck on your forest or on your forestry projects. Now, friend and direct resource is at 90%, which means you tend to be a bit more stubborn, insistent on your own views, and you tend to overthink. That means you're very slow to react to changes in the market. Okay, so just make sure that you're able to do first, talk later, meaning don't be afraid to take the next step. You don't always have to be right. It's okay to make a mistake. It's not okay to not move. Remember that. Okay, so your 90% friend and your 90% direct resource is preventing you from moving forward, and that will not be so good for any projects that you embark on. All right. Yeah.